Didn't
So
communicate about it until it was later
I
on.
honestly haven't even thought about it in these terms until you're introducing these ideas, and
Well,
I could be, yeah.
because you had a very long term. 5 years is a
Yeah.
very long relationship.
Oh, we did everything together. I mean, we were like, you couldn't get any closer, like everything.
So when you broke up, how did you feel?
Well, when it finally happened, I felt terrible, but it's weird. Here's the thing. I felt terrible, but at the same time, I felt liberated. I felt free because I had felt like I had been shackled for like those last 2 years. I felt like the person I knew, there were hints of her here and there. Physically and emotionally, there were hints of her, but she like had become dissipated or smothered or I don't know what, you know. And I was actually thinking, as depressed as I was, and I was terribly, terribly depressed, I was thinking, you know what? Maybe when we become friends again, things are going to get better, and maybe we'll end up going out again together. I don't know, but maybe this breakup is going to be good for us. That's actually what I was thinking, which is
And that was about 3 years
foolish
ago.
because obviously we didn't get back together. Yeah, yeah, and then we eventually started talking again, and then like recently as maybe I don't know, like half a year ago, I started introducing to her the idea of like dating again after she had some bad experiences with some men. And I said, look, I said, and I believe this, like, quite frankly, the person that I was and that you were during the final stages of our relationship, those two people don't even exist anymore. Like, again, there's signs in them, but we're both different people now.
Right.
You know, and I tried to, and I actually asked her out a couple times. I said, let's give it another shot. And she had no interest. Not only did she have no interest, but she scoffed at the idea. She thought it was ludicrous I would even suggest it. And I stopped. I respected that, and I didn't want to damage our friendship. Fine, we'd been down that road, and I agreed. And that's why it's so weird when she came here like this last time, and the time before that she actually kissed me on the lips because,
Right.
I mean,
we discussed that, yeah.
we haven't had anything like that for years now.
Well, what's your friendship like before your show?
Yeah.
Was your friendship very cold and distant? Was it warm and inviting, like you were there for each other, you spent a lot
Our
of time?
friendship was warm and distant, if you could, I mean.
So it was hot and cold?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I would go to her. This is a typical evening with Carrie and I. My parents had driven me crazy. I need to go somewhere. I need to get out. I call Carrie. Carrie, can I come over to your house and just hang out tonight? Sure. And she's all excited. We'll watch movies and we'll sit on the couch and talk. I'd go into her house and I'd sit on her couch and just enjoy being away from the folks. And she would be in her room the whole time on the cell phone, talking to this guy, talking to that guy, walking back and forth, making plans, really basically ignoring me. But here's the thing. At that point, I had already said, you know what, we're not going to date anymore. It's kind enough that she's letting me sit here. I'm going to just let it go. Every now and again, I would say something like, would be great if we could talk, you know, and she goes, oh, I will talk to you, just give me a minute. I just didn't want to be a pest. So a lot of times what would happen is she would just leave and say, look, I got to go out, this friend needs help, or this guy wants to see me. You know, you're welcome to stay in my house. I'll be back in the morning. I'm like, okay. And then I would just hang out in her house.
Without her?
Oh, she's known me so long, I'm actually the only person that she feels comfortable having in her house.
Did you think that you were treated like a friend?
No, you want to know something weird? Because it is going to sound like I don't think highly of them, but it felt like I was being treated like a family member. Like I can see treating like a sister that way, or a brother.
Right. Like, I gotta go, here's the house.
I gotta go, I got a date, just, there's stuff in the fridge, man, catch you later. Like, and that's weird, because you're supposed to be closer with families than with friends, right? Like, it didn't feel...
Well, you usually
like
have different relationships.
It didn't feel like a friend. Like, I don't think I ever treated a friend like that. Like, I mean...
So your expectation of what a friend is...
She never invited me to go anywhere, and we had one very bad club experience once, and ever since then, she says, you don't like my kind of music, you don't want to go with me anyway, that's why I don't invite you. Which is, like, crazy. Like, I never said that. When she was with me, when we were dating for 5 years, she was with me all the time. Now, before I had met her, and I thought that was one of the things about me that attracted her to me, did I reverse that?
No.
One of the things she liked about me is that I had an interesting array of, I had an interesting friend or two. And I did interesting things with them, and I think she kind of liked that.
Right.
So I still wanted to have my private time with these friends once we were dating.
Well, you should. You
which
still
I learned
need
that
to.
you can't have. Well, no.
No.
She said when you're dating, there is no more private time. If you're with your friend, I'm with you. You don't see a friend without me there. So
Why do you let people control your environment?
here's the thing, I didn't. Here's the thing. So I would continue to, I said to her, I don't think that's what a relationship is about. I would start to see these friends without her, and I'd come back, and I'd get a lecture about, so are you effing this girl? Are you effing that? Is that what you do? You guys go out? You go out with him, and you start like screwing with women? And I'm like, so it was always like,
It almost sounds like
it was always unpleasant.
but it almost sounds like she was hurt in the past.
Yeah.
And
Well, she was.
Right. She was hurt in the past, and unfortunately, you have to go the extra distance to prove to her that you care and that she trusts you from her past experience, which is not your fault, but I'm sure she wasn't doing it on purpose.
I mean, this is just the tip. I mean, there's like a lot of stuff. There's like, can I tell you quickly about the club experience? So we went to a club together, and now, I hadn't even been to a club. All right, how old was I in college? I was, let's say I was like 30, was that right?
College?
Yeah, when I
20?
Well, no, I waited about 4 years before I
Oh,
went
it's
to
a 21,
college.
22? Because
Really?
you graduate high school between
I
17 and 18.
graduated college in '98. Wow, was I really in my 20s still? Does that make sense?
In 98?
I graduated in
Yeah.
98.
You would be like 27, 28?
Really?
Well, I'm a year older than you, and I was still in my 20s, so.
Oh my God.
Yeah. I know. I don't want to go over her
I
age.
mean, like,
Eh,
anyway, so yeah,
Easy.
so
no age comments.
I know, no, actually, well, you
You're very uncomfortable talking about this because
I'm very uncomfortable because I'm
Which
much
is
more
fine.
comfortable when I understand what I'm talking about. I don't understand. I'm telling you things now that I don't even understand.
we're actually probably
And
starting
I'm
to
very
remember.
embarrassed about a lot of these
Why?
things. Like, I don't know, because
You shouldn't be. It's okay.
I
It's your past.
did a lot of dumb things, but we went to this club, and I never, oh, the belt's breaking, I have to say
Oh, is that what that was? Okay.
That's not my bones. I never been to a club. We
Because
went,
you didn't work out today.
yeah, that's what it is. I actually jogged though one day. I don't know if you saw that.
I heard.
Jogged for 7 minutes. And I worked out with Maurice a little bit.
I heard.
I never...
I hear the belt's
My
breaking.
belt just broke.
I heard that. It just popped.
Yeah, my belt just
I'll have to
popped.
fix that.
Anyway,
So you're at the club.
I'd never been there before. We went up into this main room, and she takes me, she's got me by the hand. Nice having by, because she insisted that we held hands wherever we were. Matter of fact, if we went shopping together, I was not allowed to let go of her hand. If I let go of her hand, she looked at that as like the most profound portrayal.
Sounds very controlling.
If we went to a store together, I had to be by her side, so I couldn't say be like, "Oh, I'll be back in a second. I want to look over here," because if I went to look over there, she would feel like I was abandoning her. And God forbid I went to look over there and somebody was in the aisle with me, like a woman, and I said, "Oh, do you know that band?" or "Oh, this is an interesting store." Then she called that flirting with other women, and then said
Did
that I
this
was
go on from the beginning of the
from the
relationship?
very beginning. But so I interrupt you. I'm sorry.
No, I'm sorry, but I'm just trying to see how long you stayed in that type of relationship.
So here's the thing. So we how we actually started dating was weird, but I told you about that. But anyway,
Yes, that I do.
so we're in the club, and she takes me up the stairs, and all of a sudden, the first thing I see, there's like this big rubber chair, and there's these two women in the chair, and they're involved in an acting. They're not clothed, like they're actually
They're having
enjoying with each other in the club.
You could say it.
Now, I've never even... So, I sit up there, and I get up there, and I'm gawking. I'm like that, because I never, I'm just off
It's
the street.
unusual, right?
I've never even seen anything like this.
Understandably.
So she takes her hand, she claws my hand, so hard, there's, impressions of her nails, and she starts, going off on, "Oh, so is that why you came here? Did you just come here to look at women? Do you want to F them? Do you want to be with everyone here? You're gonna be you're scum and this and that." And the whole rest of the evening was terrible because she gave me explicit instructions that I was only to look at her. I was not to look at anything else in the club but her.
Okay.
And I did my best to do it, but once or twice I turned away to look at something else, and she flipped. So I'm just saying that.
I have to wonder
Yeah.
why you would stay in a relationship that was this controlling, according to what you're saying. It sounds very controlling. Why you would allow yourself to stay in that situation for 5 years?
I don't know. There were things, the good in her, the wonderful things about her. outweighed the things that I felt were in. I don't even know if the bad things in her were really bad things, but they didn't work for me. They weren't compatible with me. But the areas where we were compatible, the things I did like about her, so trumped all the bad things. Because when it was just her and me together in private, everything was great.
Would you know the difference of what was bad and what was good? Because you justify a lot of the bad in every situation.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could talk about family, friends, strangers, and you'd be like, but I know people are good and they don't mean to be bad and they didn't mean it. You justify every type of behavior that's negative towards you so you could actually find a reason to like somebody or hang out with somebody.
Yeah, I do that. Yeah, I like to try to find a reason to justify behavior and to hang out, because if I can't come up with a justification, I have to conclude that lots of people I know are cruel or small-minded or self-centered, and I just can't believe that's true.
Well, why would you want to put yourself in so many situations that are hurtful towards you?
Because there were a lot of things hurtful about it, but there were a lot of things that were wonderful, and I guess I just chose to not focus on the hurting part of it.
It's almost like the hurt part is so natural to you, it's okay.
Yeah, well, I also, a couple things. Also, I think I was thinking, well, who else am I going to meet? I'm not going to meet anybody else. I mean, it was amazing that I met her. And like I said, and the other thing, that since day one, I mean, this has been a thing throughout my life, there were a couple times when I decided that we weren't right together. I don't even know how to do that. I do not know.
You mean how to end a relationship?
I do not know how to end a relationship, and I can't bear to do it, because even if I know it's right for me and I get upset, I cannot bear to upset someone else. And someone told me, I don't remember who it was, could have been Anton. It was someone said to me, you know what? It said something like you're not that important. You're not so important that you're going to devastate someone. They'll get over it. But that's the thing. They'll get over it. They have to get over it. It's that thing that they have to get over that I can't bear to put someone through. I mean, eventually I did. We're not.
But it's almost like it's okay for you to be in pain as long as everybody else is happy. It's okay that you feel bad about yourself as long as Carrie or whoever it is.
I guess that's messed up, isn't it? I've always thought it was better for me to be in pain than someone else.
It's not messed up, and it's great that you care about how other people feel. But what the reverse is that you don't care about how you feel.
No, I guess I really don't sometimes. No.
You put yourself on the bottom of the list. Everybody else is more important than you, and it's okay if you're in pain as long as you didn't hurt somebody else. And it could be a mix of fear of not having other people to hang out with, or fear of not having other friends, or meeting another girl, or maybe it's what you're accustomed to. It's okay if people put me down. I've been hearing it my whole life.
I've never had anyone, to this day, sitting here on this couch with you, I've never had anyone say to me, put yourself first. Never. My parents always, I don't think this is bad, but, or maybe it is, I don't know, but they've always raised me to, think of your mother first. Think of your father first. You owe it to us. We give you everything. We if it wasn't for us, you'd be nothing. You owe it to us. Help your sister out. You owe it to her.
What about owing to you?
Well, no one's ever discussed that with me.
But what about?
Ever.
Okay, well, I think that you're going to need to, and I'm sorry to bring up a lot of stuff in one thing, and because I see you.
No, it's fine. I'm
shaking and getting.
Yeah, fine.
And I won't make you go on anymore. It's very time limited, so I don't want to keep going. But I think what you need to start thinking, and I know you don't have much downtime here.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe right before you go to bed, thinking why you've never done anything for you. Because that's part of the reason why you're not happy, because you've never put yourself first. And being in this show, though, actually gives you a little bit of you, because you get to do things that are about you, which is good.